In Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, farming is going to require a lot of stamina, so it's very important to optimize which crops you're growing in this game. So let's take a look at the different crops that you can grow in year 1, and I'll tell you guys which one is going to make you the most amount of money. These are the different crops that you can grow in year 1. The only crops that you're going to be able to grow from year 2 on that are different from these are going to be the hybrid crops. We'll talk more about those in a little bit. But just from this chart, you can see that all of the crops, they're going to grow in multiple seasons except for yams. Those are only able to be grown in fall. Much like the other mechanics in this game does farming a lot differently than a lot of the other games. First of all, you can go to the store and buy seeds, but you can buy any seed at any time of the year. So in spring 1, if you want to buy carrot seeds that you can't grow until fall, you're free to do that. After you buy the seeds, feel free to run back to your farm, till the soil, and then you can put the seeds in the soil. Which crop should you be growing in spring? Well, if you look at this chart right here, you can see that tomato and strawberry are not the ways to go. They sell for too little money, so it's between watermelon and potato. Technically, potato is going to make you 5 extra gold because it costs 40 to buy it, but you can sell it for 180 for the lowest quality, so then you'd make 140 gold, whereas the watermelon, you're only going to be making 135. However, potato, it does take a little bit longer to grow, so it's really up to you whether you want to do potato or watermelon. That being said, you're also going to want to grow at least 1 tomato because one of the quests that you get on day 1 from this bulletin board is going to be for any type of tomato, and the person who's going to request that is Cecilia, and if you complete it, you're going to get 5 eggs. Here are the crops that you can grow in summer. Here, there's a very clear winner. It's going to be melon. For 1 melon, you can make a profit of 160, which is quite a bit in this game. Again, for summer, you're going to want to grow 2 crops just because you need them to complete quests. Matthew is going to request a turnip, so you're going to want 1 to give to him, and then Lumina, she's actually going to have a request that requires you to cook something, but it's very easy to cook it, and it just requires a turnip. And again, if you watch my other video, you know you don't have to worry about knowing the recipe, because when you go to get a request, if you don't know the recipe, they're just going to teach it to you. Here are the fall crops. Note that melons can be grown in summer and fall, and it takes 7 days. So I would recommend after you do your first round of melons in summer, you do a second round, and then you can just harvest them again in the beginning of fall. In fall, you're going to get 2 quests, the same as summer, that are going to require yams. One, it just is give the person a yam, and then the other one is give them yam soup. And again, the only ingredient is yam, and when you get the request, they're going to teach you how to make it. These are the winter crops. You can see the winter crops, they're all on the cheaper side of things, between 20 and 40 gold to buy the seeds. And in this season, potato is the clear winner. There's also going to be 1 request, and it's going to require just 1 strawberry. So now that we know the best crop to grow in each season, how can we get the higher quality crops? Well, you may notice that you have 2 plots of land that you can use to farm on your farm. The one that's closest to your house is actually the poorest quality soil, and then the other one is slightly higher quality. Later in the game, you can buy a 3rd plot that's going to have even higher quality soil. However, you don't really have to worry that much because even if you use the poorest quality soil, you can just use a lot of fertilizer. You can use fertilizer twice a day. You should also be watering your crops twice a day, once in the AM and once in the PM. My recommendation for one of the first things to buy is the fertilizer maker. It costs 45,000 gold, and then once you buy it, you can put in any ingredient, and then it's going to give you out some fertilizer. Let's do one last quick breakdown of which crop to grow for each season. My recommendation for optimal crops is to grow watermelons in the spring. Then in the summer, you can continue growing your watermelons and then switch to melons. Melons should then get you through summer and fall, but then at the end of fall, you're going to want to switch to potatoes. That about does it for year 1. I told you guys I was going to talk a little bit about hybrid crops. So hybrid crops, it's actually talked about in this guide a lot. Look, these are all of the hybrid crops, and all the information about it is this thick. You can see like there's different pages talking about what you can grow in different seasons, how to make each one, and then you can also actually even use flowers. So it's a lot. If you guys want to see that video, please let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like this one. Yeah, please give me a like and a comment if you learned anything in today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.